Alright. Hello, spookies, and welcome back to Let's Read No Substitutions. A Strange Matter book. Let's begin. Chapter 3. What are your names? He asked. I struggled to reply, but Shelley beat me to the punch, as usual. Shelley Miller, she announced, staring straight at him. I could never look at adults when I spoke to them. Sometimes I hated talking to older people. And yours? He said. His gaze darted to me. His eyes had a strange look about them. A striking blue before, but now they appeared silvery. I looked down quickly. Curtis Chapman, I said, staring at the floor tile. I don't think they ever mopped the floor at this school. I wonder if I could get you two to help me carry some things down to the library. He smiled and turned to the desk. We didn't move. Shelley nudged me and tried to mouth out something I couldn't understand. I felt like a prisoner awaiting a sentence. He turned, holding two large cardboard boxes, held them out, one in each huge hand. Our arms nearly broke when we took the incredibly heavy boxes. How could he hold them in his hands like that? We could barely lift them. We set them on the floor with a loud thump. He looked down at us with a forced smile. A punishment for passing notes. That's what his fake smile told us. Can you manage them? He asked. No mere question, but a challenge. Shelley looked mad and grabbed her box, tugging it up to her knee, where she slid her hands beneath it. She would manage them all right. She'd pull her arms out of their sockets before she would admit defeat. No problem, I muttered. I lifted my box and shuffled for the door as best I could, Shelley right behind me. Take them down to the library and sit quietly with the rest of the class. I'll be there momentarily. He stopped us with a snap and a command. Everyone will be quiet and seated, or they will be very sorry. I felt his stare on the back of my head as Shelley and I pushed through the doors, staggered down the hall toward the library. We paused at the top of the stairs. We looked at each other and the heavy boxes we carried, each box taped shut. Why did he make us do this? He knew these were too heavy for us. Shelley growled. Punishment for passing notes, I said. He gets an A for originality. He asked us to carry these stupid things. He didn't order us. We could have said no, you know. Why didn't you? I don't know. Why didn't you? My arms were killing me already. I knew Shelley's must be really sore. She had a lot of energy, but she's really not that strong. Why didn't he just send us to the principal or something? This isn't fair at all. By the way, what did your note say? I never had the chance to read it. Shelley stopped and smiled. I was going to ask you what you thought were in these boxes. We looked at each other and laughed, then set the boxes down on the top of the stairs with a thump. I suppose I should have carried my box down the stairs, as Stacy Calhoun had asked. I didn't. I kicked my box down to the first step, and then the next. It would take a while, but I wouldn't break my back. Not what he intended, Shelley giggled. A few minutes later, a final kick placed our boxes on the last step. The hallway stood empty. No teachers to help us, and no students to laugh. Great, you think we can kick them down to the library? Shelley grumbled. Nah, we better carry them. My box is about to cave in. Cardboard boxes get pretty ragged after 100 kicks and about 50 stair steps. I kicked the box again. That's what Stacy Calhoun got for his stupid punishment. A beat-up box, courtesy of Curtis Chapman. With a groan, we went to pick up the boxes. I could feel my arm stretch about a foot as I lifted. Shelley got a horrified look on her face. She gasped, "Oh no, Kurt, you forgot your notebook. It's back in class." Chapter 4. I couldn't believe it. I'd left it behind. When I picked the stupid box up. "Wait here, I'll be back in a second," I shouted. I shot up the stairs, skipping steps as I went. I left the stupid box with Shelley. I started around the upstairs corner and jogged all the way up to Mr. Mayfield's biology class, heading towards Mr. Jackson's history. I couldn't let Mr. Mayfield see me. He hated tardiness and people without hall passes. He wouldn't care if I left my head in my last class. I was supposed to be in my next class. As luck would have it, Mr. Mayfield had a free period. He would either be eating his regular tuna fish salad sandwich and coming up with his lesson plan for tomorrow, or he would still be rewinding the film from his last class. He had problems with that sometimes. As I sneaked past his door, I heard something that made my blood run cold. "I told you no! How many times do I have to tell you?" Mr. Mayfield cried out. That's all I heard before another voice hushed him. I hugged the wall next to Mr. Mayfield's door. I had to sneak on past, but my curiosity had piqued. Mr. Mayfield had never even raised his voice before, as far as I knew. Now he yelled and screamed at somebody in his class. It must have been a bad situation for him to get so upset. I took a big gulp of air and held it and peeked through a tiny glass window off the closed door. The fluorescent lights in the room flickered on and off, threatening to go out. The projector still whirled, and the film left in the reel clicked over itself, over and over. I saw them. A large hand held Mr. Mayfield in his chair. The hand belonged to Stacy Calhoun. His other hand curled up behind him in a large fist. It pulled back to punch Mr. Mayfield. I couldn't believe it. I found my mouth opening before I could stop it. Paralyzed with shock, I couldn't force a sound out. Not even a squeak. Mr. Calhoun's fist came sailing around his giant body and slammed into the chair beside Mr. Mayfield's head. Mr. Mayfield leaped to his feet and backed up towards the projector. His legs looked like they would buckle beneath him at any point. "There is no way I'm going to join you. You can do whatever you want, say whatever you want to say, but I won't," Mr. Mayfield yelled. Mr. Calhoun turned, and I got a good look at his face, all twisted and a deep shade of red. I don't think I had ever seen anyone that furious. He started towards Mr. Mayfield, who was stepping behind a large dissection table. The table was covered in bottles, beakers, live frogs croaking loudly in their jaws, and dissection knives. My heart jumped to my throat. Mr. Mayfield and Mr. Calhoun circled the table, never taking their eyes off each other. "Come now, Mr. Mayfield, won't you reconsider?" Mr. Calhoun placed his hands carefully on the table. The frogs croaked loudly and jumped frantically in their jaws. Mr. Mayfield sweated nervously. He shook. A look of determination pinched his reddened face. I said no, and I mean no, he finally cried. Stacy stared at Mr. Mayfield for a moment, then picked up the dissection knife. The frogs went crazy. I wanted to scream. I felt my heart pound and my legs grow weak. Mr. Calhoun held the knife. My face was fully in that little window for now. From inside, it must have looked like my head sat on a shelf staring in. Mr. Calhoun looked from the gleaming knife to Mr. Mayfield, then to me. A jolt of terror surged through my body, and I froze. He looked straight at the little window in the door and saw me. His eyes glinted, locked me in place. I stared back, terrified. His gaze turned to Mr. Mayfield. He quickly capped the knife with a small plastic cover and shoved it in his pocket. You had your chance. Now it's too late. You should have joined me. You should have come with me. It could have been just like the old days. Mr. Mayfield seemed as terrified as I was. Go on, check your hand, Stacy said coolly. Mr. Mayfield brought his fist in front of his face. He pressed his fist hard against his forehead and started to open it. Mr. Stacy smiled as Mr. Mayfield's face flooded with terror. Mr. Mayfield's fingers unfurled and his hand opened and shook. The frogs went wild in their jars. I could see something marked Mr. Mayfield's outstretched palm. Something terrible. Okay, next up, Chapter 5. Stay tuned for some more strange matters. These chapters are not too long. That's actually pretty cool. I'm considering reading this next one right now, actually, since that really didn't take that long. Yeah, let's go for it. Alright, Chapter 5. Sorry. I was planning to do 2 chapters at a time, but here's 3. Chapter 5. I ducked behind the corner at the top of the stairs. I heard the door to the biology class slam into the wall. My heart nearly jumped from my chest. Mr. Mayfield didn't see me as he ran past, holding his palm to his chest, as if it were cut. My head ached, and I broke a cold sweat as the realization hit me. I had never seen the 2 teachers fight before. What should I do? Who should I tell? I didn't have time to think about it. I heard a second set of footsteps heading toward me down the hall. It had to be Mr. Calhoun. I couldn't let him find me, because he would suspect that I saw what just happened. The footsteps came closer. I flew down the stairs. My heart pounded. I knew if he followed close behind. I saw Shelley standing at the bottom of the stairs, her arms crossed, next to the 2 heavy boxes. Someone stood next to her. Coach Dawson. All right, my tennis instructor. Mom had signed me up for lessons with Coach Dawson over summer. I really liked him. Tough, but not too tough. He saw me coming down the stairs and waved. A feeling of relief washed through me. My life had been narrowly spared at the last moment. I waved back at my rescuer and bounded down the last 3 steps, confident that Mr. Calhoun wouldn't dare touch me with another teacher around. Hey, Coach, I called cheerfully. Then it occurred to me, Mr. Calhoun took care of Mr. Mayfield very easily. A gnawing dread started to chew my stomach. My brief sense of security vanished as quickly as it had come. It's about time. Did you get lost or what? Shelley said. Hey, Curtis. These are pretty heavy boxes for you guys to be carrying around. Whose are they? Coach Dawson scratched his orange mop of hair under his bright red cap. They belonged to the new substitute, I said, trying to disguise the quake in my voice. He's a real jerk, Coach Dawson. He knew he wouldn't carry these heavy things all the way to the library. Shelley's nose wrinkled at the sign of true disdain. Who? Coach Dawson asked. An ominous shadow loomed over us. It blocked out all the light coming from the staircase window. I didn't have to look. I knew who it was. Why, Mr. Mayfield, is something wrong? Coach Dawson sounded surprised. I turned to look. Mr. Mayfield hurried down the stairs towards us, his hands in his pockets, and a worried expression on his pale, round face. Oh, hi, Coach Dawson. I'm just a little under the weather today, that's all. Hello, Shelley. Curtis. Mr. Mayfield stared at me with strange urgency. I could see he wanted to tell me something about what happened between him and Stacy Calhoun. He knew I'd seen them. He seemed shaken, almost terrified. Sorry you feel bad, Doug. You heading out? Coach Dawson offered his hand. Mr. Mayfield only looked at him and kept his hands in his pockets. Yes, I have a few errands to run. Then I'm going to home to rest for the day. Mr. Mayfield hurried past us. Not much of the day left, Coach Dawson replied. Mr. Mayfield didn't look back. Hope you feel better soon, Doug, Coach Dawson yelled after him. Mr. Mayfield disappeared through the door to the teacher's lounge. That's odd. Well, I guess I'll help you two. Samson's with these crates. Thanks, Coach Dawson, but I think I can manage mine all by myself. Shelley proudly lifted her box with a huff. It almost slipped, but Coach Dawson straightened it out for her. She swaggered down the hallway, her ponytail flipping from side to side. Coach Dawson looked down at me. Now how about you, Kurt? Need some help? I watched as Shelley turned to glare at me. If I accepted Coach Dawson's help, I'd never hear the end of it. Never. Sure, thing's too heavy for me. I admit it, I said with a grin. Coach Dawson got a big laugh out of that. He grabbed the box with one hand and then, clearly surprised by the weight, used two. This thing's heavier than it looks. As he started down the hall, I saw our school mascot on the back of his bright yellow jacket, the gray timber wolf. Suddenly, I heard Mr. Calhoun's voice behind me. A little late getting to the library, Curtis. The voice curled around me like a snake. A cold shiver traveled through me. I didn't turn around. Cold fear pushed me towards, but I had half expected a hand on my shoulder to stop me or something. Nothing. He didn't do anything, say anything, no sound. A chill wind whipped down the empty hall. I took another step and felt hot breath on my neck. Okay, I forced myself to turn and look. I knew it. Nothing there. He had vanished. But how? Nothing down that hall but a scuffed up floor and 100-year-old wads of gum. No door had slammed, and I heard no footsteps. A blinding dread and a flash of fright sent me hurtling down the hall to catch up to Mr. Dawson. We entered the library together. Next up, Chapter 6. And that's going to be next time. I'm going to try to keep all these episodes to around 20 minutes for a digestible, bite-sized episode. So, once again, I will see you all next time. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And happy Halloween!